How many of you heard of Jack LaLanne? Jack LaLanne was puny, sickly, 15 years old. And the neighbor later came over. He was living out of Oakland, California, in a little dirt farm. And the neighbor lady said, Mrs. LaLanne, you've got to bring your son tonight to this lecture, this man, Paul Bragg. They say he's amazing in Oakland. We'll take you in our truck. And Jack heard that. He said, no one's helped me. He said, I don't want to go. He said, I've been to so many doctors. Jack was so weak he had to have a back brace to sit up straight. And he had pimples and boils and carbuncles. And his headaches were all the time. And so guess what happened? The neighbor lady wouldn't say that. Jack, you've got to go. Mrs. LaLanne, we're going to take you in our truck. And so there was no room for Jack in the front of the truck. He had to sit in the back. They wrapped him in blankets. And Jack said with every bump he got madder and madder, and he was mad at his mother. Why did I let her make me go? And so they got into the hall, and the fire marshal was there with his hat and everything. And my father was up on the lecture had already started, and he saw the commotion at the door, at the entrance. And the fire marshal said, no more people can come in here. We had a fire last week, and there's no more seats. There were about 3,000 people in the hall. Guess what? Dad said, you bring those people on the stage, and I have seats in my dressing room. And so Jack LaLanne, puny and sickly, so weak, he said his knees, he shook so. He said, the usher took us down the aisle, and with every step I got madder and madder. And he got up on the stage, and he said, me sit on the stage? And he sat before all these people for 20 minutes. He was literally paralyzed, looking at all the audience, because he thought they were all looking at him, how sick he was. And all of a sudden, my father said, down with garbage, white sugar, candy, soft drinks, Cokes. He said, they're killers. And all of a sudden, Jack LaLanne heard that, and he forgot the audience. He started looking at my father, bursting with energy and all. He said, my, oh my. He said, my mother has been killing me because she gives me all this white bread and Mars candy bars and Hershey bars and soft drinks, all I want. And all of a sudden, Jack LaLanne says, I want that energy this man has. That night, Jack LaLanne's life was changed. You know what? He said, Patricia, I would have been dead at 16 if I hadn't heard your dad when I was 15. He said, I was so sick, so sick. The school teacher, home teacher would come one day a week. Jack LaLanne changed his life. He lives up in Morro Bay, and he's ageless. He's ageless. And how did he do it? Living the Bragg healthy lifestyle. When I went up to his home recently, guess what he was doing? Digging in his organic garden. Digging in his organic garden. And he said, and barefooted with a straw hat on. He said, Patricia, I'm doing everything your dad told me to do when I was 15. He said, I'm organic gardening, growing. I'm living out in the country, the fresh air and everything. I swim every day. I'm keeping my 640 muscles fit and healthy. I fast one day a week. And you know what? He's ageless. I don't know how many of you saw him on the Larry King show. Yeah, wasn't he wonderful? And Larry said, how did you get started, Jack? He said, well, you know, there a man by the name of Paul Bragg came around, and you know, he changed my life. He said, if you change your life, you can be reborn.